Doing?
Good. How you doing?
Very good.
Nice response. Thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. As we have the press conference this week, to look back at Syracuse, it was a nice win. It was a long time coming, but it was a nice win. It was great to see the joy, the jubilation, the excitement, the enthusiasm in that locker room. With us being as close as we've been for the last 3 weeks, and I have talked about the effort that this team has put forth, how hard they've played, the way they've stayed together, kind of the foundation that we've been laying, and how nice it was to see that all come to fruition and us to finally get the opportunity to win, to sing the fight song in the locker room, to see the excitement, guys hugging, to see the joy on their faces with all the hard work that they've put into it was definitely worth it. Offensively, I thought there were a lot of good things in that game. B.J. Daniels continues to strive and grow as a quarterback. Really impressed with the way he's playing and some of the things that he's doing, not only with his arms and his legs and his mind, as I've talked about, but the way he's managing the game. His poise, his presence. It's a close game. Everybody's sitting there. If they score, it's going to be a one-score game. And you get on the sideline, and he looks over you, and it's like, this is a heck of a game, isn't it, Coach? I mean, just as relaxed and laid back as he can be, and I love just the poise that he's had and the way that he's playing the game right now. The offensive line, again, just were warriors in this game. Those guys have been unbelievable so far this season. We've been able to stay healthy up front. Those guys have really played well together as a group, and those five. Really proud of what they've done as a unit. Demetrius Murray came in with Daryl Scott not playing in this game. Demetrius Murray came in and I thought really did a nice job, especially at the end of the game. It's the first time really this year that we've had an opportunity to finish a close football game and to take a ball and run down the field. And with the last score, I believe Demetrius Murray carried the ball about the last 8 times, and we went right down the field behind that offensive line and were able to put it in the end zone. Defensively, I thought we played a good game defensively. We gave up one big play on 4th and 2 late in the game when it was about 30-10 to make it 30-17. But I thought the defense really played a solid football game outside of that big play. I thought they played well. We were staunch up front. We didn't give them the opportunity to run the ball and made them a little bit more one-dimensional. But I thought even though we gave up some yards, we only gave up 17 points, and I thought defensively we played well. And it was nice to see the special teams come back with Bonani, who I think took the burden of the loss at Rutgers and really stepped forward. And I think that's the first sign of kind of like the healing process, or when you're really going to start getting better. When you can look at it and say, I made a mistake, I've got to do better, I expect more out of myself. And I thought he came in, he went 3 for 3 on field goals, 4 for 4 on PATs. I thought he really did a nice job as well. It was nice to see us win. From an injury standpoint, Daryl Scott was cleared to play in the game. He was cleared Thursday without practice in most of the week. I felt like we could have used Daryl Scott if we needed to in an emergency situation, but I thought Demetrius Murray and Marcus Shaw did such a good job of carrying the burden. We chose to sit him on the sideline and make sure that he was 100% for this game. So he will be cleared to play this week. Bravo Brown should be full speed. A couple question marks, and if whether or not Rashard Clyatt's going to be back yet. Claude Davis, A.J. Love, a couple guys that went out with bumps and bruises we'll see this week with it. But really on the injury front, coming out of just this game, we're relatively healthy. We still have a long list of guys that are out for the season. But coming out of this game, we came out relatively clean. Excited about this week for a number of reasons. A, having the opportunity to come back home. You know, when you get back at 5 o'clock in the morning and you say that was our last road trip, you feel pretty good about knowing your last 3 are going to be back at home at Raymond James Stadium and having an opportunity to play in front of our home crowd and family and friends. So we're really excited to come home for that, one. Number 2, it's Military Appreciation Day and the Wounded Warrior Project, and that is what this mannequin dressed up over here on my left is all about. This is an opportunity for us to pay tribute to so many of the men and women in the military services and what they do on a day-to-day basis to allow us to sleep with our head on our pillow, free at night in a free society. And this is an opportunity for us to say thank you to them. And with Shutt and with Under Armour, partnering with both of them and what they've made available for us from a helmet standpoint, And from a uniform standpoint, this is going to be an opportunity for us to honor the armed forces, again, in the military personnel. And so it's exciting to have an opportunity to do that. There's so many great causes out there, but I don't think there's any cause any stronger than having the opportunity to support the men and women that, like I said, that make the sacrifices they do on a daily basis for us to live in the free society that we do. So it's an honor for us to have the opportunity to wear these uniforms and to honor the men and women in the military. And that will be this weekend. As I told the players, I want to show this early. I want to bring this out early. We don't want to be a bunch of giddy schoolgirls in the locker room before the game talking about how fresh this uniform looks. We're very appreciative to Under Armour and to Schutt for what they're making, for the opportunity that they're giving us to do this and honor such a great cause. Third, I'm excited about it because of the in-state rivalry. Because of the in-state rivalry with Miami, you've got our football players. A lot of these players played together. A lot of them played against each other. A lot of them played on all-star teams together. There's a lot of relationships that go back and forth on each team. So I'm sure these cell phones will be burning up back and forth. There'll be a lot of trash talk going on back and forth amongst the players. That's kind of what a rivalry game and a geographical rivalry game creates for the players, for the fan base, for the bragging rights, for recruiting, for all those things. That it really makes it an exciting week. And so we're excited to have the opportunity not only to play Miami, but to have the opportunity to play Miami here at home. It really makes it exciting for us right now and for our fan base. I have great respect for Al Golden. I've known Coach Golden for a long time. I think he is an excellent football coach. He does a great job with his football teams. You can see it when you watch them right now and the discipline that they're playing with and a lot of the fundamental things that they're doing. I think this is a very well-coached football team. I know he's in year one. I'm sure he has frustrations in year one, just how we had frustrations in year one a year ago. But you can see a lot of the discipline that he's installing in this program and what he's doing right now. When you talk about Miami, you talk about their defense and what they're doing. Last week they lost a football game to Florida State, but their defense gave up 6 points. They lost 23 points, but I thought their defense played an excellent football game. It starts, they're very athletic at the linebacker position. Spence has 90 tackles, as a Miami team always has. Great athleticism across the board, but it all starts at the linebacker position. And like I said, I think Spence is just a machine inside. He's all over the place. He's involved in the passing game, the running game, the screen game. He flashes. What we always talk about, a flash. When you're watching the film and some guy goes flying across the field, you're like, who is that? Run that back. It's normally Spence. I mean, he is an excellent football player and does a great job. They're different than what we've seen the last 2 weeks. They're much more of a basic defense, keep the ball in front of them without a lot of the blitz packaging, although they'll do some. Like I said, the last 2 weeks, Syracuse and Rutgers you could draw lines all over the screen, and that's where they were coming from, where this is much more of a traditional. They play their gaps, they keep the ball in front of them, they play a physical, fast brand of football, and they really do a super job with it. They've got 2 great safeties, and JoJo Nichols and Ray Armstrong, that are all over the field, and their defensive front, as you would expect, is extremely athletic with the things that they can do as a defensive front. On the offensive side of the ball, again, the talent shows up. It starts with 3, 6, and 8. Those are the 3 guys that you see all over the field. Probably the best offensive football team and very similar to what we played in a Notre Dame. They've got a great tailback. He's rushed for 1,100 yards. He's strong, he's powerful. He's averaging, I think he's second in the ACC, averaging 110 yards a game. He's going to get the ball. He's strong. He's powerful. He runs behind a huge offensive line. I know I've said that every week, but these guys are 6'5", 320 is what they average. You start looking at these 6'8", 340-pound safeties. I mean, tackles. That'd be pretty impressive for a 6'8", 350-pound safety. But 6'5", 6'8", 350-pound tackles. He gets back in there behind them. They churn forward. He finds a gap and gets it going forward. And his bad plays are 4 and 5 yards forward. They really do a nice job on offense with him. Ja'Cory Harris, as a senior quarterback, is really playing well. Discipline, making some great decisions. He's not putting the ball in danger. He's not turning the ball over. And then again, you look at their speed and athleticism and their size on the perimeter with Streeter and Benjamin. I think they're very dangerous on the perimeter. You can't load the box and stop the run because they're strong enough with a quarterback and receivers on the perimeter, but you can't just play pass coverage because they could bleed you to death with what they do with Miller inside. So special teams, Benjamin is their punt returner and their kick returner. Scares you to death with what he can do, especially after the Rutgers game when a kickoff return changed the outcome of the game. So we're really going to have some challenges with our special teams as well. But I think our players are up for the challenge. They're excited about having the opportunity to play an in-state rival game with a program like Miami, and we look at it as a great challenge for us. And to have the opportunity to represent the Armed Forces with the Military Appreciation Day and the Wounded Warrior Project, it should be an exciting day, and we're excited to be back home. I know one of the things they're going to do with these uniforms when we're done with them, they are going to auction them off on the website with 100% going to the Wounded Warrior Projects, which give the men and women of service that have been injured representing this country the opportunity to get back into mainstream society as they return back to the States. And so it's all for a great cause with what we're doing right now with the uniforms as well. So we're excited to have the opportunity to be back home. A lot of positive things going on right now. What questions?